Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Cheap Sense, back one more time. Obviously, I am at a crossroads when it comes to horror movies because they've been playing Michael Myers since earlier this morning, and they are now on Resurrection, which is one I don't care for. That's the one with Busta Rhymes when they gather up the people, put them inside Michael Myers' old house, lock them in, and put cameras on them, and there's cameras everywhere. And it's probably one of the corniest Michael Myers or Halloween movies made. So I'm passing on this one. I watched a little bit of it, and then I got bored. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just do a video. So this video, I chose 10 fragrances from 10 different houses that I guess you can say has been talked about a lot, or some of the favorite fragrances by people from these 10 houses. So I'll figure out how to word it when I do my introductory, or my title I should say, for the video. But let's get started. So I didn't rank these 10 through 1 or whatever. I'm just gonna grab one and start from there. So at number 10, we're going to go with one of my favorites. Highly controversial fragrance because it has been compared to the quote-unquote king of fragrances, Invictus. And this is from the House of Armagh. This is Club de Nuit Intense Man. Say what you want to say about the fragrance. It's weak now. It's been reformulated. It's this, it's that. It sucks ass. Whatever you want to say. In my personal opinion, I like this fragrance. I don't give a shit about the opening on it. The lemon opening does not bother me whatsoever. I know some people say it smells like Pledge and lemon scented Pledge and all this kind of stuff. That's their opinion. I happen to love this fragrance a lot. Yes, my medallion is on the wrong side. That does not mean this is a fake bottle. I've seen the medallion on this side. I've seen the medallion straight up and down. I have even seen people take the medallion off. I think Stefan did that in his. I think it was Stefan. It may have been somebody else, but I saw them talk about this fragrance the other day, and theirs didn't even have the medallion on it, period. So whatever the case may be, I don't care. It's just some... all it is glued on. So it doesn't matter. If you want to put it in the middle and glue it on, then you can do it your damn self. But whatever the case may be, man, I don't care. It's a great smelling fragrance. Some gonna love it, some gonna hate it. I actually love it. Number 10 from the House of Armagh, Club de Nuit Intense Man. Number 9 spot, I'm just gonna grab something. Obviously, I don't have the original, but this, once again, gifted to me by the mayor of Detroit. Thank you again, my friend. I know you probably getting sick and tired of hearing me say that, but not too many people have gifted me bottles that cost as much as one of these cost, and this is one of them. This is Dior Sauvage Eau de Parfum. Obviously, Dior Sauvage is one of the highly talked about and bought and sought after fragrances, no matter which version you get, the eau de toilette, the eau de parfum, the parfum, it doesn't matter. It's highly liked by the masses. A lot of people may say they don't like it. I said the same thing about the eau de toilette version. It was too strong. It gave me headaches and all this kind of stuff, which is why I had Ventana. But this is from the House of Dior, one of the most talked about fragrances that they have on their market. One of them. I'm not saying it's the only one, but it's one of them. So at the number 9 spot, Dior Sauvage. Number 8, one that really isn't talked about that much anymore, but when I first got into the fragrance game, a lot of people were talking about this fragrance, the vintage version. Obviously, I don't think this is vintage because it looks different than the other bottle. But for the most part, it does smell great. The performance on this is not the best. There is an alternative to this. I'm not going to talk about that right now on this one. But this is from the house of Carolina Herrera. This is CH Men. Now, obviously, I could have put Privé in this because to me, Privé is much better than this one. It's more masculine. It's sexy. But I went with this one instead. So, at the number 8 spot, from the house of Carolina Herrera, CH Men. At the number 7 spot, another one that is really talked about more than any other fragrance from this particular line. And these fragrances, I'm not talking about a specific line. It's just the house itself. But from this house, the house of YSL, this fragrance is La Nuit de L'Homme. This is one that a lot of people like over all of the other flankers. They talk about this one. I don't care about reformulation. I don't care about all the extra stuff that people gonna jump in the comment section and be talking about. This fragrance smells good as hell. Perfect for cooler weather. Great date night scent. Of course, yes, the performance is not that great, but what date you know that's gonna be 8+ hours or 5 hours at that? You're gonna go to dinner. You're gonna go see a movie, or if that, you're going to go back to your house. You're going to do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. And that's what this is all about. So, at the number 7 spot, La Nuit de L'Homme. At the number 6 spot is one that came out and I wanted it so bad. And I just could not get my hands on it. And I finally found one that was marked down. It is from the house of Azzaro. And yes, I could have put Chrome on there because Chrome was highly talked about. But this one and the flanker to it are the two that people talk about the most right now in this current year. It is Azzaro Wanted. I want Wanted by Night, but right now I can't afford to get it because, you know, bills and all that kind of stuff. But I did end up with this one when I was straight. Great fragrance. Smells wonderful. I love it. Despite what others may say about it, it is what it is. That's my number 6 spot. Azzaro Wanted. Number 5 spot. From the house of Givenchy. This is the one that people pull out the most. That I have seen so far. Now there may be other flankers. I have smelled a few in Ulta, but this is the one I actually fell in love with when I first smelled it. I ordered this one online, and it is Gentlemen Only. Damn good fragrance, versatile as hell. I love it. This is about the only one that I've ever heard a lot of people talk about. I think Givenchy Play is another one that they talk about a little bit, but recent days they talk about this one and maybe one or two others, but this is the one I've seen most. And I think Ross from TLTG did his suit and tie video, and I think this was in his suit and tie video. But you're not the only one, my friend. I have it too. So that's the number 6 spot. Or the number 5 spot, I'm sorry. Number 4. I want to go ahead and get this one out of the way because this is one that I always said, well, one of the ones that I say a coworker always wears to death besides the flanker to it. I can't even wear my flanker because he wears his, and I don't want to come in the same day wearing the same thing he's wearing, so I choose not to wear them at all while I'm at that job. But if I go anywhere else, then I'll choose to wear those. But this one is the original. It gets some hate because they say it smells so juvenile. It's bubblegummy. and all of that, and I get most of that, but for the most part, you can't deny that this is a crowd-pleasing, mass-appealing type fragrance. For some reason, women love it to death, but this is from the house of Paco Rabanne. This is Invictus. Like I said, it's bubblegummy, juvenile, whatever other people say about it. I actually like it. I just can't wear it because, like I said, I have a coworker that wears it to death. There are flankers. There are other versions of fragrances that smell similar to this. I won't get into that, but maybe one day I will do a video and give you guys all of the flankers that I have or have ran across that smell similar to this fragrance that are way cheaper than going out and purchasing this. And yes, I did not purchase this. I got this in a trade. So still a great smelling fragrance. I know Ash from Gent Scent says the bottle is cheesy as hell. Doesn't bother me because it's not about the bottle. It's not like you're going to wear it around your neck on a chain and wear it to work and people are going to look at it and say, what the fuck are you doing? Or what do you got around your neck? You're going to spray this shit on, leave it in your bag, or leave it at the house, go about your business, whatever the case may be. Paco Rabanne's Invictus. Number 3 is from the house of Dolce and Gabbana, or Dolce and Gabbana. This is the one EDP. Now, I do have the EDT version. I actually just got this one not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago, maybe somewhere around in there. And I actually found this at TJ Maxx, and it surprised the hell out of me because I didn't expect to see it. This fragrance is the one that everybody likes more than the EDT. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up the EDT right now. So this is the EDT version. As you can see, I did use a good bit of this last fall and winter. This is the EDP, which you can tell the difference. The bottle is darker. The top is dark. I don't know if that's black. I think it's black. This one is like a bronze looking color. But this one has a little bit more sexiness to it. Of course, it's EDP, so it is going to last longer. The smell to me is not the same. It's close, but this one has a little more something to it than the EDT. But don't get it twisted, because this is a great date night scent in itself. Yes, it has performance issues. It doesn't last that long. I got about, I guess, 4.5 hours, maybe 5 out of it, with about, I don't know, an hour and a half projection, which is not bad. Great for a date night. Like I said before with La Nuit de L'Homme, this is one of those go to dinner, movie, or whatever you're going to do, a play or something like that. You're going to go home and you're going to do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. Yeah, y'all get it. Anyway, at my number 3 spot, that was Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP or EDT. At the number 2 spot, and I'm going to look and make sure I didn't make a mistake. Yeah. So at the number 2 spot, this is my favorite. I haven't smelled any other flankers, guys, so please, 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 this is just my personal list of fragrances I have in my collection. I don't have all the other flankers to this particular line or house fragrances. I just have this particular one. It is from the house of Chanel. This is Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, or Extreme, however you want to say it. I don't have whatever the other one is, Blanche, or whatever the other flanker is that everybody is talking about and raving over right now. I can't remember the name of it, but this is what I have. This is the one I love. I did have the original Chanel Allure Homme Sport, or was it Allure Homme or something like that, and I actually gave it, I think I traded it with somebody else. I had something that smelled similar to that one, which I didn't really need the other one, so I just went ahead and blessed somebody else with it. But this is a great fragrance. I love it to death. I try not to wear too much of it because this is the only size bottle that I was able to afford, the 50 ml. When I wore this to work, I got mad compliments. I walked through the back hallway coming in to clock in one day, and a friend of mine, she works in the kitchen, and she must have came out of the kitchen to go across the hall to get some supplies or something, and she smelled this in the air, and she called my phone, or actually she messaged my phone and asked me if I had just walked through there, and I said yes. She said, I know, because I can smell you. So this is a nice fragrance, has damn near beast mode projection. Longevity is fantastic on this one. Not one that I personally have to reapply. I can go just about a full 8 hours with this one without a problem. But that's my number 2 spot, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. And I know you guys are wondering, what in the hell is my number 1 fragrance in this list? And it really didn't matter what I threw in here, because I could have went with some other fragrances such as Versace. I could have went with Azzaro. I could have went with some other Dior's. I could have went with Ferragamo. I could have did Giorgio Armani, Bentley, Lalique. I could have went with a lot of different houses. I have plenty of fragrances. Perry Ellis, I could have did anything. But I chose these in particular because I know just the sheer power of these fragrances. People are going to tune into this video and watch. So at my number 1 spot, I went with one that I have. I don't have any other flanker to this. I do want the platinum version because I did smell it and I love it to death. But this is the original Coach for Men. I actually sold my smaller bottle to Trey Sense. I hope he's enjoying it. I have this bigger bottle that I picked up, and I love this fragrance. The first time I wore it, I was talking to somebody at the time, and when they got in my truck, I think I said this in another video, I had just sprayed it on before I left my place, and my place is not too far from theirs. And when I went to go pick them up that time, they got in the truck, and this filled up my truck. They said that they were getting a headache because it was too much. It was too strong. So I did probably overspray. But once this dried down, she could not stop sniffing this off of me. She said I smelled so good. She said now that it's dried down, it smells so good. And this is a nice fragrance. This is one you have to go light on the trigger on because it is very strong in the opening. I would not wear this to the office if it's like a small setting next to other people, like cubicles and stuff like that. They may get offended in the opening, but if you let this dry down, do maybe 2-3 sprays of this, let it dry down before you going into that office setting. This would probably be perfect, but this is more for like a supervisor or a CEO or something that's going to be in his big office. He can spray a couple of sprays of this on and not worry about, you know, offending anyone. Or if you're working around places like me that I'm not in one spot for a particular amount of time, I'm walking around the hospital, so on and so forth. This works perfect for that. So that's my number 1. I hope you guys like this list. I know a lot of people have been telling me, man, you need to do a top 10 list this and a top 10 list that. So leave those comments down below and I'll write them down. I promise you I'll write them down this time because I always say I'm going to write them down and I never, like, that's a lot of comments to go back and watch my videos, go through, my comments in all my videos and try to figure out. So leave those comments. What kind of videos do you guys want to see? Do you want to see top 10 lists? You want to see top 5 lists? You want to see top 3 lists? And just remember, guys, I can only do fragrances that I have in my collection. I know you don't know what I have, but at least you can leave a comment. What kind of video you want to see? A head-to-head comparison video? You want to see a versus video? You want to see the worst smelling fragrance video. You want to see the best smelling. You want to see a clone video. You want to see whatever it is. Leave a comment to that down below. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I don't care if 4,000 people see this video. There's supposed to be 4,000 either between like or dislike, thumbs up or thumbs downs on this thing. We need these thumbs up or thumbs down because it lets YouTube know what kind of job we're doing, whether we're doing a great job or whether we're doing a sucky job. We need to know this stuff, guys. So please hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down button. No pressure. I'm not going to sit here and say, please hit the thumbs up button. Hey, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Not just me, but check out some of my colleagues also, whether they're in the upper echelons of fragrances or we're down here at the bottom talking about the cheapies for people who can't afford to go out and spend that kind of money for a niche and indie and all that stuff. It's something for everybody. If you're not up here, you're not down here, then I promise you, you'll be somewhere in the middle. So this is To Smelling Great. This has been your boy, Mr. Cheap Sense. I am out. Peace.